Hello and welcome to another episode with the WERF League. I am JT. You can find me on Twitter at JT underscore the ginger. You can find WERF League on Twitter at WERF League. It was week 20 of FAAB. We're going to recap all the Earth leagues and we're going to look at those transactions along with the overall standings and the other thoughts, news, and notes off the top of my head. And let's get to it. So I'm going to pull up the overall Earth standings here. You can find it, tweeted it out from the WERF League, tweeted it out from my Twitter account. I tagged all the league commissioners within the Earth League. We've got WERF, NERF, TURF, BARF, and GLARF. So check that out on Twitter. The link is there. I've got it pulled up. I'm sharing it here. New number one overall, Dave McDonald, less than Dave. He's got a sizable gap now, just over the last week. A little bit of a mix, but these things are changing quickly. But overall, the top 15 remaining intact. GLARF still a top league, followed by BARF, WERF, NERF, then TURF. If you find the link here, you can click on each hyperlink for the league. It'll take you to Fantrax, and you can check out team standings in terms of interactive points. I've also got it all along the bottom here. Overall points, not so much, not as spicy, but definitely the runs, the ribbies, the home runs, all of that is filtered. You can click through it as a review. So moving back, Dalton Del Don moves into the 2 spot, followed by Corbin Young, Ralph Lipschitz at 4, and those two Johns, whoever you are, you're in 5th. Michael Govier, our guest from last week, he's in 6th overall. Waterloo's in 7th, and Carmen's in 8th, Mark in 9th, and Lucas Beery, there we are, in 10th. Some of the same names up here that you've seen before: Van Baseball, Vegan Mutadel, so Rob Di Pietro, Ryan Venasio. Should probably use their real names. The team names are fun, but you'll probably find them better on Twitter if you want to follow along, or you can just go to my list. I have all the known fantasy participants out of the Earth leagues in all in one list. You can follow them, or at least access them there, follow them directly, or just follow the list for just all that content, trying to make it easy for you. But Chris is the commish. I see his name. That's why I said commish for the Nerf League there. Eno, Max Freeze, Will, and John rounding out there. Hey, Man Bear Pig. I always like seeing them. Smada. All right, so we can go through that. On a personal note, I am now under 1.4 whip on the season and under 4.6 ERA. So I am grinding out the innings, trying to be more smart about the matchups, and just as a personal victory, I did not judge pitching well this year and traded away what I thought was depth was not. But anyway, it happens. But it was fun. It was fantasy, and that's what it's supposed to be. So check this out. Find it on Twitter at JT underscore the ginger or at WERF League. Follow along. But we're going to move on to FAAB week 20. First up, the WERF League. Hoy Park going to AP for 8 units. Travis Darnaud might be coming back 4 units to Mikey, dropping McCann. Holt getting picked up. Let's see, for 1 unit, his pitching must have really done it. Or Laureano getting suspended for PEDs. That's probably what did it. Never mind. Travis Jankowski for Ryan, 4 units, dropping Andujar. Luis Brinson for Purple Haze. Andy, 2 units, dropping Phillips. Alex Colome, come on, keep those saves rolling. I got a side prop bet to win. 114 units to do so, but I like it. Let's go. Canning, he's down. He got DFA'd or in the minors. Probably just option. Never mind. Olivares, Corbin, 31 units. Duggar getting dropped there. Jack Mayfield, multi-position eligibility there in the infield to Ryan, 7 units. Dropping Bertie, who's on the IL. Hilliard, 1 unit. That is cheap. Wow, well done. Matt Duffy getting dropped there, but that's solid. Wade LeBlanc getting need some innings there for Andy, 1 unit. Colby Allard getting dropped. Carlos Hernandez, Corbin, 21 units, dropping Hembry. It's closer committee, but I don't really need saves. There's such a sizable gap in terms of the next, like rung I can grab in terms of saves. Like how to keep everyone else behind me. Mental note: Hembry is out there. Okay, and at least for me, for WERF. Eli Morgan getting picked up, 5 units. Mikey dropping Trinan. Okay, Gill showed up and showed out, 127 units this late in the season. Units are flying. I can see that. Stomon getting dropped. Okay, so these are just a drop. So this is the last of the FAAB for WERF. Strasburg's available. He made the most moves. I just want to see what Will's doing here. Hillard, Kiermaier. Okay. So he's more kind of probably streaming for the pitchers there. Colmay, and then Gill now starting. Pineda and Sandoval. Who's Sandoval's matchup? Is it the Dodgers? Yeah, Dodgers Friday. I still believe in Sandoval. I've got him in a 12-teamer. Pineda, K to walk. Galore. That's all. That's all he's good for. All right, moving on. I'm dwelling. Hoy Park, Waterloo, 4 units, dropping Andrews. Harold Castro dropping for Starling Castro. Strangers in the Night, Joel, 3 units he's spending there. Marco Gonzalez, Zach Braff, 57 units, dropping Tyler Rogers of the Gigantes. Nestor Cortez Jr., 20 units. Team Mendy, dropping Arrieta. I shake my head because Cortez, I don't know. All the little antics of the timing and the pitching, maybe he's better than that, but that's all I see in the highlights, and it just seems gimmicky. But if it's working, it counts the same, right? Keyboom getting picked up. Post-hype sleeper, really, 27 units. Paul Mamino dropping Duffy. Gill again, 112 to Joel, dropping Nate Pearson. Lewis Brinson again getting picked up this league as well, 97 units. Nick Rivitri dropping Laureano. Jose Suarez getting dropped, and Daniel Lynch getting picked up by Mimi for 5 units. Chad Green getting picked up by Joel again, 6 units. Transferring Dunn to the IL. Luzardo, Mike Waterloo, 10 units, dropping Davies. Okay, I'll allow it. Andres Jimenez, multi-position eligibility, dropping Cameron, and doing so in the process, 9 units. Excuse me, I had a large Slurpee before this. Moving on. Bobby Dahlbach, 5 units. Nick Rivitri, picking him up for Victor Gonzalez to the IL. Carlos Hernandez, also 17 units. Ven Baseball, Matt Theiss. Eli Morgan getting picked up. Mamino, 8 units, dropping Lurie. Garcia. Brett Anderson getting picked up for 2 units. Had a free spot there for Vegan Mutadel. Joel, 7 units. Willie Castro getting picked up, dropping Piscotti. Must have not needed the outfield for the multi-position. Is Piscotti batting as much as I think he still is? Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely gonna be. Now that Laureano might see some more, but no, he was not. So maybe you'll see him get picked up next week, depending on how playing time sorts itself out there in Oakland. Van Baseball, 7 units spent on Ruff, dropping Harold Ramirez. Yeah, I wish I had that available. I'm kind of spoiling on Harold as well there. Amino, 12 units being spent on Diaz there in Houston. Derek Hill took 2 units to get him. Vegan Mutadel dropping Aquino. All right, moving on to Glarf. Starting off with a closer. Michael Givens, 3 units. Why not? Phillips getting picked up here in Glarf, 0 units. Lucas Beery, Joe Adele also getting picked up, 151 units. I think the WERF League, someone was sitting on him all year, so opportunity cost of a roster spot all year up until this point, or just 151 units. Derek, that could be savvy. Dell's been actually solid so far. Jorge Mateo, Zach Waxman, 16 units. Hoy Park again getting picked up, 3 out of 3 leagues. Dave Swan this time, 58 units, dropping Carpenter. Colome, 37. That's very inexpensive. Jenny picking up, drop in Duffy. Carter Keyboom also picked up Derek Rhodes, 51 units. Lewis Brinson, 15 units to Lucas Beery. JT Brubaker getting the drop. Zach Thompson, Dave Swan, 23 units, dropping Duggar. Dylan Bundy, Max Freeze spends 16 units, dropping Williams. Carlos Hernandez, 3 for 3 in the league so far for pickups, 47 units for this one for Derek. Frank Schwindel, 0 units. Zach, do you know something I don't? I don't even recognize the name. He looks like he's 32 from the little picture. Oh, 29. Price is Right rules. I lose. Jonathan Loaiziga, 19 units. Dave Swan dropping Hauser on the IL. Interesting. I thought it wasn't too serious with COVID. So you actually don't know how he's going to react to that. Okay, if you need it, I'll support it, but I could see someone also picking him up next week. Eli Morgan, dropping Varsho, going to Govier for 11 units. Ruff Snyder, Max Freeze, 13 units. See you later, Almonte. Jack Mayfield, getting some playing time, doing well with it there in Los Angeles, 13 units to Carmen's team. Luis Gill, 1 unit. Whoo. That is some value. That is the least amount of units by far we've seen for Gill so far. Well done, Zach. Elias Diaz, Colorado. 7 units to Carmen, dropping Molina. Jan Gomes, Dave Swan, 1 unit. Stallings, just some catcher. Those are some catcher cleanup, just playing time for the week. Brault getting pickup, 8 units is what it took. Dropping John Nogowski. And Jake Cleveland Dust Mites doing that. Bryce Wilson, Michael Govier, 2 units, dropping Jeffries. Berea getting picked up by Freeze for 11 units, dropping Fetty. Yeah, he kind of had to blow up a little bit. Dave McDonald spending a unit on Severino, dropping Ruff. Devin Williams getting some saves while his counterpart is on the IL in Hater. 6 units is what it took for Mike Carter. Dropping Brad Hand. Travis Jankowski, 7 units. Max Freeze, dropping Ben Gamel. And that is it. Move on to Barf. I scrolled too far, so it is not ready. And it must have been the zoom feature. I like to zoom in for you, but then sometimes it gets thrown off on where I left it. Sam Hilliard, he was available. Took 81 units to get him for those 2 Johns. Bauer, getting picked up. Justin Mason. Does he know something we don't? I don't know, but he dropped a catcher to do so. That's fine. Keyboom, 61 units. Those 2 Johns. Aledmus Diaz, the Big Red Platoon. That's a new team name as of today. I will have to update that next week. I don't know who you are, but you're in Barf. You're near the bottom of the standings. Oh, it's almost like a riddle. I'm going to think about that. 0 units, dropping Mercado. Caleb Smith going to Justin Mason, 0 units. Luis Brinson, Bubba took 9 units to pay for that, dropping Bowers. Colome only 35 for those 2 Johns, dropping Widener. Yanni Hernandez, Okay, bat flip crazy. I'm not familiar, Toby, but I respect it for 0 units. That's awesome. Alec Mills getting picked up. Matty Wood putting Hauser on his IL. There we are. 31 units is what it took. Brett Anderson to Thug, 9 units. Nestor Cortez Jr., 13 units. That's more respectable number, but I respect both. But I always appreciate the savvy value pickup. So 13 ain't a whole lot. Dropping Fulmer, Man Bear Pig, also active here for Andres Jimenez for 66 units. Matty Wood active for the next two here, 29 units on Daniel Lynch, dropping Brubaker, and also spending 29 units on Jorge Mateo, dropping Garrett Hampson. Michael Givens getting picked up by Matty Wood as well, 17 units, dropping Yimi Garcia. Matty Wood again, very active. Week 20 FAAB. Eliezer Hernandez making a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. 24 units. Dropping Fetty. Travis Jankowski, Man Bear Pig, 7 units. Dropping Sheets. Jack Mayfield also getting picked up in this league by Bubba this time for 4 units. Dropping Fraley. Gill, 14 units. Even cheaper. Hot Ham Water. Rendon, done for the year. But if we got an IL spot, we'll use it. Okay, Joe. Sulcer, Bubba, 12 units. Mikolas, Eno, 4 units, dropping Harold Ramirez. Lorenzen, 7 units to Hot Ham Water, dropping Willie Castro. Eli Morgan getting picked up 12 units by Bubba, dropping Vince Velasquez, John Nagowski, Saris, going back to the well again. Duly noted, 4 units, dropping Duffy. And then we have some Reed Detmers for 3, Hoy Park for 0, and Luis Garcia for 0. Sorry, respectively, Hot Ham Water, and then Toby there for the last 2. And then Toby here, most recently, spending 0 units, getting Alfred, dropping Goodwin. Last league to review is the Nerf League. Sam Hilliard, 6 units, the cheapest pickup so far, unless you already had him on the team. But for this week, only 6 units for Eric Cross is all it took. Josiah Gray, 57 units. Todd Zola spending and putting Biggio on his IL. Cal Quantrill, 49 units. Dan Harris is doing that. Alex Coleman getting picked up by Dan Harris, 39 units. Solid amount, dropping Hira. Fetty getting picked up, 13 units. Zola, Cobb to the IL on his team. Brinson, baseball age, Andy Andrus. I don't know if I'm familiar with that name. All right, Andy, 1 unit. Brinson, I'm digging it. Darnode also taking a flyer, 16 units is Mick on dropping Sheets. Daniel Litch also getting picked up. Zola this time again, 13 units. Descalfani going to his IL. Zola had some IL spots available. That's awesome. Use them. Chaz McCormick, Dan Harris getting them for 19 units, dropping Holland. Michael Givens. All it took for Mick was 6 units, dropping Hand. Floro there in Miami, closer, 5 units. Mick dropping Hembry, the committee, Cincinnati closer. That's fine. Hopefully more opportunities at least is what we're hoping for, right? Olivares getting picked up by Eric for 9. Yadiel Hernandez, Eric for 8. Eric again, 36 on Gill. Hoy Park for Eric, 3 units. How did you have all that room? Andy, you must have been dropping before, which I do not view, which might be helpful. Maybe next year I'll just kind of do a full, but I'm just looking at value added, trying to help people out, help them follow along, just have fun with this. So Andy, 26 units, Carter Keyboom. And then we had a couple drops off the FAAB. All right, that recaps it all. So we did the overall Earth standings, which you can find on Twitter at the WERF League tweeted it out. I tweeted it out. Just find the link and you're good to go. Each week I share it, update it weekly, and kind of tentatively in the works with like a big live stream of getting that updated and announcing the overall winner late Sunday, October 3rd. All the games, at least Pacific Standard Time, which I'm in, all those games around noon or noon 30 or so. So even if we stream like 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, I think that's a decent time. before dinner for us, late, but before bedtime for the East Coast, and somewhere in between for everyone else. Hopefully everyone can follow along and enjoy the suspense on who's going to get the overall Earth belt. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that was week 20 for FAAB. Also, that we recapped all the Earth leagues, a lot of similar names getting picked up, different values. Now's the time to spend the FAAB units. If you have a need, get the guy. The trade deadline has passed. You don't get to save your units into next year. Spend them if you got them. I don't got them. I sat tight. I kind of just rearranged some players. I also was camping, so I wasn't really near internet readily. But yeah, Roto, keep track of the standings. You know, sometimes if you're trying to decide on who to pick up and you only really got one spot or drop to play with, maybe, you know, like a steals guy is more valuable to you because you can gain 2 or 3 spots in rank than a saves guy where you could only maybe potentially gain 1 or 2, or the inverse of that, stave off someone from catching you in a certain category. We're less than 2 months away, so still lots of moving potential. Even though we're seeing, at least for this, the same names in the overall. In your league, it's only 15 teams. All these players are competing for their own league and the overall to consider. So it'll be interesting if they really have to think about it. But all these people have been playing. They should know what they're doing. And it's just going to be fun to see it play out. And if there's any interesting set, or in terms of rosters, settings, saving them near the end of the year, just to bench a bunch or really go for a certain, you see a bunch of relief pitchers because everyone got their minimum innings. But yeah, we'll just keep following along. Baseball's fun. Fantasy baseball is even more fun. So I'm JT. You can find me on Twitter at JT_the Ginger. This is the WERF League. Can find it on YouTube. Can find it on Twitter. Share, interact. Keep watching baseball. Keep enjoying it. I'm gonna go watch the Mariners this weekend in person. Take the family. Check out the zoo as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. But until next time, be well, stay safe, take care, and we'll see ya.